Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WESG European Qualifiers, powered by Razer and Razer Phone. My name is Tasty Bacon. Joining me today is going to be High Jump as we get ready to get things underway. High Jump, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself? Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so pumped about that. Like that. Ooh, this is gonna be a great day.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. We are gonna be starting things off with the round of 16 on the Group A bracket. There's two brackets, both of them starting off in quarterfinals. And today our matchup is going to be Czech Republic taking on France, as this is the WESG Qualifiers. It is an Olympic-style format for the esports, something that's not really done very frequently. The first time it's ever been done in Vainglory, where it is teams of specific countries as opposed to just overall teams as a whole. So again, every single player on the Czech Republic team is from the Czech Republic. Every single player on the France team is from France, etc., etc.
No, I don't know about you, but I actually love this style of format. It really forces you get like a lot of teams that kind of like have to like make things work. It's not like how to put this. It kind of levels the playing field in a lot of senses for many games. I think there are very few teams out there that are just a full country stack, thinking across like multiple games. So I'm very excited for this.
All right, well, we don't want to delay things any longer, so we are going to be going ahead and jumping right on into this one with our very first draft of the day. Once again, it is Czech Republic taking on France. It will be Czech Republic on the A side. We take a look at their rosters now. You can see there's 8 members on both teams. And I can tell you from these two lists, I can let you know who's going to be starting today. On the side of Czech Republic, it's going to be Morgan Freefarm, D3JV, Marnisar, Look Forward, and Warren 1X. A couple of those names may be somewhat familiar. On the other side for France, you have Oswald, Hero 1000, Cassius, Millennium Academy, and KOTP. So without any further ado, what do you say we just jump right in and start off this first draft?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. I was doing a bunch of research on these teams yesterday, and honestly, it's kind of hard to call who's going to be kind of like the more favorite team in this regard. Though based off of like at least Team France's ladder play, they all main captain from the looks of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely it'll be an interesting one to see how it all plays out, as I made a little bit of a mistake there. We'll go ahead and get this fixed up in a second. But there we go. We got ourselves on in for this first draft. And again, it's going to be Czech Republic with the first bans. They are going to go ahead and ban away Yates, even though Yates is not available to play just yet. So
it's just showing how strong
actually going
the
to
hero
be
is.
Kicking us on out. So we'll go ahead and get everything re-sorted out once again.
We can't pick Yates.
Yeah, they realize that they can't pick Yates. I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah, I mean it's totally fine there. I mean it's in the rules, but
I'm just gonna let them know, like if they want to ban Yates, they can feel free to ban Yates. It's just throwing away a ban, but no one can pick Yates yet. So as we get things re-sorted out once again, we'll get on back into this one.
Yeah. No reason to waste a ban on an already banned hero.
Yeah, for sure. And so, as we get on into this one once again, I'm going to go ahead and get this draft kicked off once more.
Ban away the Anka first this time instead of the Yates.
Yeah.
Is it just like you think it's more of like a respect ban, or just like overall just not wanting to see Anka?
I think it's just an overall not wanting to see Anka. Anka is still incredibly strong right now, even on Update 3.7, which we are playing Update 3.7 for those of you out there. And so Lorelei is also going to be banned away, and this was something, if you watch the VPL, Lorelei was starting to see quite a lot of attention, a lot of picks and a lot of bans going her way. Arden and Kinetic going to also be going off the board, which means Kensei is open. Kensei, even though he got a little bit of touch-ups in 3.7.
Yeah.
I think he's still incredibly strong and very much worthy of a first pick.
I do too. I think he's really good, but they're opting for Idris here instead.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision that they're going to grab the Idris, leaving a lot of other power picks open. And Idris is one of these heroes that hasn't really been heavily prioritized, whereas Lance is one that has been rising up in popularity ever since the rework where they gave him a little bit of extra defense without having to build the crystal route. I think Lance has become incredibly popular.
Yeah, no, I think he's got a lot of utility to go along with this. The Adagio to follow it up as well can be weapon power or CP, same as even as a captain. So I like these picks that are very versatile. So it lets you kind of like you don't know exactly what to expect for lane matchups necessarily.
Yeah, it's definitely it can be providing a lot of strength. The Churnwalker going to come out as well. Churnwalker, again, one of these heroes that has been just seeing so much play of late, especially at the highest level. And it's just the amount of utility he can provide, especially if this ends up being something like a Crystal Idris. You get the damage share off of those chakrams. As we're waiting for Martin. Okay, he does get a hero locked in. Was a little worried there. It's going to be this Flicker, so a lot of utility coming out from both teams.
Yeah, I've been seeing like a lot of Flicker on the rise too. Like when I was doing my research for this, and I also have to agree that I think this is going to be a Crystal Idris. It's just because it's seeming a lot more rise. I mean, they buffed the ratio on like Crystal for him, so it'll be a strong pick. Ooh, Lean! I love this hero.
Yeah.
I really enjoy playing her myself, and so I'm excited to see kind of some top level play.
Yeah, Moline is definitely one of the extremely fun heroes to play. Just having effectively 5 abilities instead of the 3 that everyone else is limited to. Having those 2 different forms that you can switch between. There's so much you can do with her. Kashka is well going to come out, so a lot of mobility and a lot of crystal power on the side of France to start. But there's the Grumpjaw, and if anyone's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with a Kashka early game in the jungle, it's a Grumpjaw.
Yeah, and there's some really solid Grumpjaw players on the side. Excuse me, on the side of the Czech Republic as well. I know that Morgan Free Farm as well as D3JV have been like spamming games with him. And he's just an overall strong hero. Right? Ooh, Varia as their last pick.
Yeah, Varia's a little interesting here because there's still a lot of other power picks open for the mid lane. Things like the Celeste, like the Scarf, that a lot of other teams like to pick up. But obviously, you go for comfort when you're playing in a matchup like this. And they are going to go ahead and lock in the Varia. Gwen is the final answer there. And then it looks like we got kicked out of the draft. So we'll see about getting this sorted out for you.
Yeah, but okay. So I mean, like honestly, it's more of a even though there's like power picks still left. I think picking up something that they're feeling comfortable against Moline with is going to be a much better choice here instead of Scarp being a good pick, Celeste being a good pick. But I think they're really trying to make sure that they're just as mobile as the enemy team. France is looking like that they can rotate really quickly. That Kashka is going to be up and down that river so fast.
Yeah. It looks like it was just a misclick from one of the players, so we're going to be working on getting back into this one as quickly as we can.
Yeah, we'll just rerun through this pick ban phase as we get all set up. So honestly, I think it's going to be. I'm really interested to see kind of like who's going to be playing what on the side of France here. Looking at who's kind of feeling strongest with which hero. Mm-hmm. But how do you think their actual captain's going to be in this team? I mean, we've got Adagio, we've got Lance. At least that kind of makes it a little easier. Yeah,
I feel like it's going to end up being the Lance, the Adagio as the core captain, and these players are just really.
Jeez, third time's a charm. Just go blunt pick.
Alright, they're saying that there's a bug, so we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do a blind pick because they already did the full draft, so we already know who is gonna be playing what. So hopefully we'll be able to get them on in here this time around, and we can get this game underway. But obviously some difficulties getting things sorted out. Of course, these teams were these aren't players that necessarily always play with each other. That's one of the other things about this format is, you'll get these teams that are, players that are playing for the first time. When the rosters were announced, they had to kind of figure out, okay, who's going to play what, who's going to be in what position. And that's what we're working on at the moment. Is they've had the last week or two or so to kind of work on that synergy, figure out how exactly they're going to perform once it comes time to get onto the Rise.
Oh, very true. And it's also a thing of it's not just the fact that they have new rosters. We got this brand new patch, and so everyone's been either playing on alts or playing in private matches. Trying to figure out exactly what's good in 3.7.
And so we are just about ready. We're now in the loading screen and going to be getting ready for this first game of the day. Once again, Czech Republic taking on France in the first round of the WESG European qualifiers powered by Razer. And we'll see who is going to be getting the upper hand. It is a best of 3, so they will be playing at least 2 games. And we'll see who gets the upper hand in this series.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to Morgan Freefarm's Grumpjaw here. I think of the players on the Czech Republic, his Grumpjaw has the better stats. I think in recent history he's played 8 games, gone forward 4 on that with an average of 5 kills, 4 assists, 6 deaths. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he's able to kind of keep pace with his Kashka, gank the lanes as needed, and really kind of set the tone for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see these teams both getting out of their bases, see where they decide to kind of start. The opening first couple moves is always really intriguing to me to see who goes where the teams look to try and fight. If they look for an invade, you see Morgan Freefarm and Marnissar are going to both be going in deep, but they're going to get spotted out by these scout cams.
So smart to place those early. And using Marnissar's stealth there to kind of scout those a bit, be able to easily know they've been seen, but they're collapsing in on them.
Yeah, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Morgan Freefarm taking some damage, but so is Marnissar. Marnissar is actually going to be able to get away safely. So is Freefarm, as both of them just kind of delaying the enemies a bit. But now it's going to be what will Team France do with this early advantage, forcing an early recall. It means they have a lot of freedom in this jungle, and you see they're taking that right away, stealing away the enemy Treant and the enemy healing camp. I'm going to be looking to get both of these. We'll see if Look Forward can steal that away. He does not. And so that's a solid start for the side of France, grabbing themselves a buff. You see KOTP taking their Crystal Treant as well. So this could be a 3-buff start for the side of France.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised that the Czech Republic didn't look to take the blue buff there instead. I mean, it seemed like they pulled most of France to the top lane, so they had a little bit of space. I mean, you saw D3JV taking the healing camp away, so at least they got something in exchange, but definitely not an even trade at all.
Yeah, not at all. And France going to be very much happy about that early trade. And you see, they're still being aggressive as Cassius was in the enemy jungle, stealing away even more of that blue side of the map for Czech Republic. So France definitely going to be in a really good position.
Yeah, and even further, I mean, in mid lane, they were just laying down the pressure. KOTP and Millennium were both just laying into Warren here. He's already had to pop the potion. He could be going down, just gets rooted, stunned up against the turret.
That's a lot of damage getting dished out there as they do find themselves with a kill. Czech Republic getting first blood. And now Oswald, he's going to be the one getting chased down by the rest of the Czech Republic. I guess to the safety of the lane, Hero 1000 here to maybe help out. But Oswald, he's on the wrong side of this. Going to use that pouncy fun to get back to a little bit more of a safer position and will be able to escape to the safety of his turret. Actually goes back in aggressively, getting the kill alongside Hero 1000. So great play there from Oswald to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, no, it's been looking really good. In the mid lane, we saw Millennium going down there just due to a little bit over-aggression, tower diving way too early for what it seems. But looks like they're being able to make the most of that, not losing their cool over just a little mistake.
Absolutely, and see the rest of the team rotating back down towards mid, going to be looking to jump onto Warren perhaps, but they get spotted out, so Warren's able to back up to the safety of the turret once again. And so it's just going to be another buff steal away attempt, as it should be up shortly here. There it is.
Yeah, it's really good vision placement there on the side of the Czech Republic. But honestly, we got to talk about this. D3JV, he's got free farm.
Actually, hold that a second, because there's going to be a fight here. Cassius is going to get the buff, but now he's in trouble. He will go down. So Flicker buff transfer complete as he picks up the buff that blue buff away from the side of France. And yeah, going back to 2D3JV, like you said, just free farming down here.
Yeah, he's already up to 24 CS. This is looking really good as an Idris. And honestly, losing 2 there to try hold the blue buff for just a moment, not the best signs here. It looks like they're getting really aggressive early on, but they're just not. They don't have the items to sustain that sort of aggression.
Yeah, and you look at the other CS matchups. You have KOTP, who has a good amount of CS on this Maline, but doesn't have the kills, whereas has obviously the CS lead over Warren 1X, but Warren X is 2-0-1, so he's not really going to be feeling the pain from that CS deficit much, if at all.
Yeah, I mean he's already a couple items heading towards that alternating current. Maline just heading back here, finally buying up, but it's definitely going to be looking for kind of that first item power spike from both sides here.
And a couple more items being purchased on both sides. You see Flicker going for that pulse weave right away. Going to be getting that little bit of extra damage. That's what makes Flicker so strong on this update. It's why so many teams and so many players have started to play this hero when he was really kind of untouched for so long. And it was this pulse weave item that's just completely changed his kit.
Yeah, that's from what I was talking to people about too. Is that just this item has just completely made this character relevant again. So it's really nice to see kind of a little bit more hero diversity coming out with this new patch.
And a lot of attention being put mid lane once again. And it's kind of interesting to me that we've been talking about we talked a little bit about the free farm that D3JV has had down in the bottom lane, but still hasn't really done a whole lot of work to that tower down there. So obviously it has been defended every so often, but he's just going to be... I like the fact that he is keeping that tower alive. He's not really shoving that wave too hard, because it allows him to just keep up the free farm and just stay safe in this bottom lane. As soon as he gets the minion waves up to the turret, he just backs off, knowing that someone's going to come answer, and looks for an opportunity to get a little bit of damage in and call it a day.
Yeah, and if he's able to keep kind of this level advantage too, when someone finally does come to defend, it could have a bit of a level advantage here.
Oh, that's going to be a stuffed and mid lane Morgan free farm trying to get the kill onto the turret, but instead it's going to be Morgan that goes down. A great impale and Githian wall coming out from Millennium Academy to stop that Grumpdraw in his tracks.
Yeah, Lance one of the long time perfect counters to Grumpjaw. He offers so much control, and you're able to just even when Grumpjaw dives in, you're able to just save a teammate, not letting them get taken back underneath turret like that.
And now a skirmish here in the jungle. It's going to be another big Githian wall to get a couple of stuns. Team France, they're collapsing hard. A nice game of Cannon Frenzy. Warnex is going to be the first to drop, but look forward, has everyone chained up. How much can Flicker do? Not enough, as Flicker will also fall. Team France taking 2 kills in the jungle without losing anyone. That is a great trade for them.
Oh, and here's the... Wow.
D3J with a bit of an outplay there, getting a kill for his troubles. He will end up going down, but at least was able to salvage something off of that for the side of Czech Republic. But overall, this has been a very big trade for France.
Yeah, and he's going full weapon power on on this Idris too. I think it's something to be said. It's he had all that time for free farm, shows up a little bit late to the team fight, but he gets a kill. But is it really it's not that much of an even trade. They lost gold and 2 others. It's kind of a rough trade there.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit rough. And KOTP, I talked about before how had the CS lead but didn't have the kills, just picked up 3 kills in this last sequence of events. So has definitely gained the edge as far as the 2 mid laners are concerned on this Maline. And a Maline with a lead is something that can be absolutely terrifying, as there's another fight going on up here in the top lane. It's going to be Morgan Free Farm going low, but getting out to safety. Meanwhile, Flicker just playing as a ward, sitting stealthed in the brush, and it's just going to let everyone walk on by for now.
Yeah, proper timing here for this Crystal Treant. Making sure to rotate his 3, get that buff picked up for Oswald, no problem at all. I really like how fast that they're playing this game, really not giving the Czech Republic a chance to kind of catch their breath and be able to catch up and farm.
Marnasar really got to do something here. He was moving around in that brush, but it's just been kind of standing around now for a while. Hopefully it's not a disconnect. Like I said, we did just see him moving a few moments ago, so Hopefully,
Meanwhile,
he's still there. He's just been playing as a ward. But there's going to be now a little bit of movement here down in the mid lane.
Making Millennium chained up here, but they're just going to burst down Warren. Oh my gosh.
So much damage being done. Millennium Falcon, the Trespass is going to stun him up, but still so much damage. Here's the rest of Czech Republic with these chains doing a lot of damage. The Varia Ultimate is going to be able to help them secure 1 kill. Millennium Academy is going to go down as well. Cassius, meanwhile, will fall to D3JV on the backside. And just like that, the Czech Republic has come back strong.
Yeah, no, that was a really well done fight. Look forward initiating their originally on the KOTP, then hooking Millennium Academy, and everyone just rotating into mid lane to be able to just clean up those kills. The rest of France diving in as well, again, to help save their teammates. But we had Cassius falling in the back lines as well as a result of that. But really well done team fight there from the Czech Republic.
Oswald is going to be just looking to recall here away from Morgan Free Farm. Morgan Free Farm keeping him in forcing him to have to stay out a little bit longer than he would like. And just like this, Czech Republic, they've got themselves the gold lead. It's been a very back and forth game, pretty much all throughout. It looked like France was going to pull away with this one for a little bit, but Czech Republic able to come back and find themselves a team fight.
No, I love this here. The fact that they went at that team fight, took Ghostwing. It's something I really talk about a lot is, like, how do you maximize your space that you create after a team fight?
Oh, Morgan Free Farm, nice job in the top lane, dodging out the Aces High, taking down the turret, and now trying to go toe-to-toe with Gwen. Hero 1000, though, has a little bit too much damage, and Morgan Free Farm's going to be looking to run away here, but the rest of France has started to rotate up as well. And now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Malene will just quickly finish off that kill. Meanwhile, down in the mid lane, there's another skirmish going on over this blue buff. Oswald, Yummy Cat, and Frenzy on in, but you're all alone. The rest of the team did not follow in with him. Still's going to be able to get out for now. Adagio with the Verse of Judgment to try and keep everyone else at bay. And it looks like that's actually going to be everyone escaping for the time being with their lives.
Yeah, no, that was really well done. It really was a risky play to dive in like that. But, had the faith that his team would follow up, be able to help heal him up and secure him there.
Oh, teleport in from the Grumpjaw. They're going to be finding themselves with a situation to look to get onto Cassius, but they don't get the kill. Instead, it's going to be the double kill for Malene. And now they look for more. Morgan Free Farm going to get stunned up. That's a 3rd kill for the side. Actually, a 4th kill, excuse me. And there's the ace. Team France wiping that team away.
Yeah, that's really well done. We're talking here about before about farm and whatnot. I really think that we got Gwen now on 2 items here with Breaking Point as well. She's starting to do a ton of damage, and they're not focusing her. Grumpjaw, he was able to heat up the lance, but that's not the hero you want to be targeting with that. I think he just managed to get in the way just right at the very end of that charge.
It'll be interesting to see now if they do decide to go for either of these dragons. With Black Claw having just spawned, Team France, they're going to be feeling pretty confident after that last team fight. You see, it looks like both Oswald and Millennium Academy are hovering around this. Oswald's going to go ahead and start it up. This is risky.
Oh yeah, they do have good vision for it. It's pretty close, but no one's rotating for it. It's just France targeting this. I'm not sure if the Czech Republic actually knows. We saw Morgan Free Farm run by, but they don't have any vision.
They should have an idea that something's up now, but will it be too late? They're going to come in maybe with a chance to steal, and it tries to get it away. Morgan Free Farm does. They do find a kill for their troubles. Meanwhile, Oswald getting the stun out and do take down Warren. So it's a 1-for-1 trade thus far, but Black Claw has been unleashed. Now the rest of Czech Republic looking to close down some of these kills. Oswald is low. Hero 1000 is low, but they just aren't able to actually secure the kills just yet. Hero 1000 is going to end up dropping here. It looks like everyone else will get out to safety. However, Black Claw is just pushing in. No one's even there to stop it right now. And D3JV, who is probably the most farmed up member of this Czech Republic side, was stuck in that bottom lane with Cassius. He did find the kill there, but if he's not able to participate in these fights, that is a huge advantage for France.
Exactly, keeping them kind of stuck in that bot lane. I think it was a really good trade. Cassius isn't like the most farmed here, and it doesn't need to be like the hard carry here. So letting Black Claw do so much extra work to this tier 3 as well as the tier 2, really good trade there.
And I mean, you mentioned it, doesn't have to be a carry. He's not building as a carry either. He's a secondary captain. They have both Cassius and Millennium Academy playing this very utility-focused type role. It's for Cassius, he's just all about providing slows to the team. You see, he's got the Shiver Steel, an item that not many people really pick up anymore. He is just purely there to try and provide that little bit of extra utility in team fights.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's letting just that their carries do so much more work here, let them be a little bit more greedy. Koshka doesn't have to worry too much more about trying to chase down people if Adagio is the one that's kind of keeping them close by and slowing them up.
All right, so we'll see where things are going to be going. Looks like they want to try and take down D3JTV. He's going to get caught. He's going to get stunned. Oh my goodness, just absolutely deleted. Nothing you can really do there as he doesn't have a reflex block to prevent a situation like that from occurring.
Yeah, it was really, really well done to chain those snares and stuns properly. No one from the Czech Republic was in the area. We saw Flicker throw out the ultimate, trying to save him for a moment there, but, to no avail.
And they are going to be looking to take Ghost Wing. It has been captured, and so that is going to be the situation where now they have that extra damage to turrets. They have that extra bit of barrier on all of their heroes. France can really look to force the issue. They are going to take that bottom turret, but you look up in the top lane, Morgan Freefarm, he is just trying to solo push the top lane down. This is going to be one of these situations, we've talked about it a lot on like the VPL broadcasts, where there's 5 members pushing this bottom lane. You are not going to beat them as a solo member, and your team is losing the fight. This is going to be really big for France. They find themselves a couple of kills, and they do not show any signs of stopping.
Yeah, no, they're doing a really good job. I'm really enjoying Millennium's play here on this Lance, landing every single stun they needs to. Just going to die for this, and it does not serve them well.
Warren narrowly escaping there. Meanwhile, Morgan Freefarm is still just pushing up in this top lane. He actually almost took down the armory turret. So he does get a fairly decent trade in terms of turrets objectives, but France still comes out on top because they got so many more kills in that trade.
Yeah, I do like the idea. I think it's just a little bit more on the execution side. I think, the rest of the team overextending a bit in bot lane really didn't make that trade kind of worth it. Because you're right, like you're not gonna beat a 5-stack pushing towers, but if you're able to kind of take other objectives on the other side of the map, you gotta make the most of that space. And being willing to kind of like throw away, tier 1, tier 2, that could be worth it in some situations.
Yeah, it worked out almost better than it really should have, because France did overextend a bit themselves towards the end of it and lost out on a couple members. If they had just played that a little bit safer, they easily could have taken that armory turret, but now it looks like they are going for this Black Claw. No one from the Czech Republic is here to contest, but the Varia ultimate is going to be showing where everyone is, and here comes the Flicker ultimate as well. Are they going to just burn it on the Black Claw? Black Claw will get captured, but there's so much damage being done by the Czech Republic. They've got 2 kills. Can they find more? Cassius is going to fall. It's all up to this Koshka. Oswald, the last member standing, going to get pulled back on in, stunned up with a trespass. So the Black Claw goes over, but it's the Czech Republic with a 5-for-0 ace. What can they do with this?
Honestly, that was what won them that team fight was proper hero targeting. You saw them just nuke Hero 1000 down there. He was at full health and suddenly had just like the magic pixel remaining. So instead of just focusing on Lance like they kind of have been in past team fights, they were able to target the squishier backline and really take that team fight before it really got started.
And so Morgan Freefarm and Look Forward both teaming up to take down the Black Claw. Meanwhile, they use the rest of their team to push these lanes up a bit. They don't really get much out of it, but they get themselves a lot of time, a lot of breathing room, as now those minion waves are going to be pushed far away from their base so that they can just focus on getting a little bit more farm and getting themselves regrouped for the next team fight.
Exactly. It's not like that one team fight, it hasn't won them the game yet. Gold is still pretty close, but I'd still say momentum is with France. I think you give them another team fight like that, and they can really be in the driver's seat of this game.
I mean, but you could say that about the Czech Republic as well. Either of these teams are on the verge. This game has been very back and forth, and it's really just going to be wherever that momentum swings next. You feel like that's where that team is going to just get so much for a team fight win. And so you see both sides kind of splitting up what they want to do. France shoving down this top lane, whereas Czech Republic, they opt to take the Ghost Wing. Do they look to then push with that extra pushing power I think that may have been, it would have been interesting to see if they had decided to say, okay, take the Ghost Wing, all push bottom with that extra pushing power. But instead, they are going to back off and defend against this push top lane. Oswald is going to be the target, but this is a 4-on-2, and that has just been disaster for the Czech Republic. A teleport coming in, but it's so late. Now it's a 5-on-3 in favor of France. They do have a turret that they have to worry about, but they just were able to cleanly pick off 2 members of the side of Czech Republic.
It's all because you kind of saw a split, like 3 different splits of what the Czech Republic wanted to be doing. You saw Grochow pushing bot lane by themselves. You saw 2 people teleport back. It just kind of was a mix of everything, of wanting to do different things. And even if it's not it's one of those things, like it goes back to the old adage, even if it's not the right call, just everyone needs to make the same call.
It is much better to have the entire team following a bad call than to have 3 people following 3 different calls. And that was the case in point of it, a prime example. As, again, Czech Republic, they get the Ghost Wing, great, but then they split up in their decision of where to go after that. It costs them pretty heavily. Thankfully, for the side of the Czech Republic, they didn't actually lose out too much more in addition to those kills, but it just killed the momentum that they had going.
Exactly, yeah.
Here we go.
You can't just train in one by one, but we see a fight here breaking out over the Crystal Treant.
Crystal Treant will go over, but here comes the Verse of Judgment. Nice impaled, great block though. Lots of damage being dished out. It's going to be Hero 1000 very low, along with D3JV, but no one's died yet. Finally, first kill comes through, and it's France that find 2 of them. They're looking for more. They get a 3rd kill and make it a 4th. Make it a full ace, 5-0, and France may have just won the game.
That was a really, really good job kiting that team fight back and up into the jungle a bit more, giving the Fountain time to tick them back up. That was just, wow, that was textbook, really. Saving the Maline, saving the Gwen through that entire just initial burst, and they got the later aspects of team fight down so much better, and that just easily won them that game.
Yep, this is going to be game number 1, going to the side of France as they pick up the victory. And again, very close game though. Czech Republic, they hung in this one. You see the gold is almost dead even at the end. So a really, really great matchup. Looking forward to seeing what these 2 teams do in game number 2.
Yeah, no, I think it really was just that last team fight. Little miscommunication as to what each team's expecting to do. It really just set the Czech Republic behind for that late stage. And I think that just gave, the France here a little bit of an extra gold boost to be able to finish up any items and be able to just take that last team fight.
Yeah, really, really good stuff out of France, finishing that one off strong. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready for game number 2 between the Czech Republic and France. Got to get the players onto opposite sides of the map so that, obviously keeping things nice and fair. And once we get that taken care of, we will be jumping into our draft for game number 2 of this best of 3 series.
So, we're looking ahead to this next draft. Is there any heroes that you see them looking to, target ban a little bit better? Is it worth trading, giving up, excuse me, banning a different hero to let through someone like, I'm trying to remember who they banned away, Lorelei, Arden, and I'm blanking on the Czech Republic's bans.
It was Kinetic and it was Lorelei, Arden, Kinetic, and Anka.
Anka, that's the one. Yeah, I mean it seems like there wasn't really a standout hero. I think it was more just an overall team coordination aspect that really won France that game. So I don't really see a target ban really changing on the side of either team.
Yeah, I don't think it really should be something that they focus on changing the bans. The draft, I think, was solid. Both teams had a very strong composition. It just, as you mentioned, came down to that end game coordination of just going in as a unit, going in as a team, and just sticking on the same page. That was where France really took the advantage. But we are getting into our draft for game number 2 of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, banning away that Arden first thing here for on the side of France. I mean, so far it's looking very similar here. They're gonna ban away if they ban away Lorelei again.
Yeah, we'll see if they're gonna change up the bans at all. again, being on A side now, a lot of times you do see teams change up their ban strategy because, a hero that they banned on their B side game, they may want to pick up while they have the first pick option. So Oswald, what's he going to do? Is going to stick to the Lorelei ban, so not changing the bans whatsoever. And now we'll see if there's going to be any difference in the second ban for the side of Czech Republic, or will they just ban away the Kinetic? They take the Kensei off the board, even though, interestingly enough, nobody played Kensei last game. He was open, nobody took it, so they're leaving the Kinetic available this time, and maybe saying, okay, we don't think France is going to play the Kinetic, and now we can get our hands on it.
Yeah, and going here, they got second and third picks. They can pick up the Grumpjaw again, which is what I was expecting, but I think Kinetic might be a good pickup here for D3JV.
And instead, it's going to be the Razer, so going for that burst assassin mage that we've seen have some serious strengths in games recently. Once he gets rolling, can really take over a jungle very effectively. So I would expect to see a little bit more tankiness coming out from the side of France, and Grace is a great way to get yourself that bit of extra durability.
Yeah, and the fact that Razer wasn't really hit with too many wasn't really hit with nerfs at all in the last patch. He does offer a ton of mobility. Oh, this would be an interesting pick.
Very much so. If they do take that Silvernail, we've seen Silvernail a lot, but hasn't we talked about Silvernail a lot, I should say. We haven't really seen it a lot. Not too many teams are really putting a priority on Silvernail. When we've talked to players, a lot of them say, it's going to take some time to learn the hero because there's so much that you have to learn with him as opposed to other carries.
Yeah, and honestly, coming down to a tournament like this, especially, you're one game away from just already progressing through the next round of the tournament. Why play something more complicated when you don't need to? Mm-hmm. Kinetic's such a strong hero that's available right now, and you're denying the pick away from the Czech Republic. It'd be kind of weird to see Silvernail just picked a little bit early.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of those heroes that, I think if it was to come out, it would come out very late in a draft as a counter pick or something like that. But Alpha going to be picked up here by the Czech Republic. This is a hero that when we first moved to 5v5, Alpha was getting played all the time, but has definitely fallen out of favor a bit in favor of things like the Grumpjaw, who kind of took over Alpha's role as being this bruiser that still does a ton of damage. So interesting to see both Grumpjaw and Alpha on the same team.
Yeah, it's I do like the counter pick here too, picking up Lyra. Being able to stop all this dive that would be coming out from the side of the Czech Republic. Very smart here. But Alpha, I don't know. It seemed like she'd be really strong early on, but her rotations just aren't as fast as Grumpjaw's. So maybe seeing her as more of a not mid laner, a top laner, being just tanky and more of a bruiser versus a jungler role.
All right. Well, it looks like one of them had a crash issue once again, and so we'll just be quickly getting these players back on in. The draft did finish, so we do know what these players are going to be playing as we get out there. And interesting to note, we had touched on it a little bit at the start. A lot of the members of this France lineup are captain mains, and so we've got 3 captain heroes getting picked up by the side of France as kind of almost, again, going for those comfort picks, those heroes that they know how to play already. Maybe playing them in slightly different roles, with the Lyra and the Grace likely to be carries, but we'll see how it's going to pan out as they get themselves on into this game. Once again, we are about to load on in for game 2 of France versus the Czech Republic. France has the 1-0 lead, one more win, and they will be the team moving on to the next round of the WESG European qualifiers powered by Razer. We'll see if they can pull it off, or will the Czech Republic give us a 3-game set in our very first series?
Yeah, talking about playing captains in kind of different roles. I don't know about you, but I love doing that. I myself am a captain main, so I love being able to play a little bit greedier and kind of push, where you become more of that air quotes captain. I'm just I have a fountain, but just don't look at my other 5 damage items. This is fine. So I mean, it's really cool to see this kind of strategy working out for them, playing using these highly versatile heroes in different ways and making the most of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am definitely one who enjoys a carry captain. Obviously, weapon power Arden being my favorite hero in the entire game. We'll see what is going to, how it's going to play out, though. Obviously, again, Cassius played this utility-focused Adagio game number 1. Now he's going to be on the Grace. You kind of expect to be a little bit more damage to come out from a Grace build, although the weapon power Grace was nerfed recently. So, and it basically, Grace just kind of fell off the face of the planet when that nerf hit. We'll see what these teams are going to do in terms of aggression, though. Here early on, you see Millennium Academy on the Churn Walker, looking to get a few chains down. However, Morgan Free Farm and Marnisar, they're going to be coming in late and finding themselves a kill. Great strategy there by the Czech Republic, catching members of France just off guard.
Yeah, I like this. You see Cassius went back going for the Gold Oak. You know, there just wasn't the rest of France there, and it was really smart of Czech Republic to kind of take note of that and engage properly.
Yeah, so, great decision from the side of the Czech Republic, getting themselves that first blood. Now, are they going to be able to get this second buff? You see, it's KOTP. He is here to try and dissuade this, or try and steal this away. He's got to be careful he doesn't get caught, though. That's going to be a good amount of damage going onto this Maline. The buff will go over to the side of the Czech Republic, so they get the 2-buff start, and will obviously be able to likely turn that into a 3-buff start as they get their weapon power buff as well. Although, you look at France and Cassius, he steals away the weapon power buff, so making the best of a bad situation, saying, you know what, you guys stole away our buffs, I'm going to go ahead and steal away the entirety of your jungle. Great decision making there from Cassius.
Yeah, no, I think just kind of like taking note of just like, okay, I think they're going to invade after this, and just kind of committed to the same line here. You know, we see actually, you know, there's still a little bit of a gold advantage on the side of the Czech Republic, but, you know, not as far as if, you know, Cassius hadn't stayed and just taken away the Gold Oak and the red buff.
Yeah, most of that gold advantage just coming from the first blood bonus that they were able to pick up, as members of France did get both weapon buffs. So both teams get 2 buffs. It's just one side gets 2 crystal, one side gets 2 weapon. But now Cassius, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Uses the healing flask to barely stay alive. D3JV almost gives up his life trying to chase down that kill underneath the turret. Very, very close to some more kills going down here in the top lane.
I was just sitting here slack, John. That was so well played on the side of Cassius. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of aggression, but I really do like the idea from Marnisar to kind of sit around knowing that Grace will be coming back to lane and be able to just, you know, take that easy first blood, you know, potential first kill for them.
Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Morgan Free Farm not quite getting the level of free farm that, you know, his teammate last game was able to get in the bottom lane. As a little bit more contest over this bottom side of the map this time around, but we'll see. He's looking for this treant. Will it get stolen away or will it get secured? He's actually just going to give that one up. Doesn't want to risk getting himself taken down, or, you know, getting the treant but then just losing all the health you would have gained from it anyway. So again,
very smart.
Yeah, smart to play it safe there.
Yeah, it feels bad, but like it's just long run. It's gonna be better to kind of, you know, sit at this full health, get these lane creeps. It looks like we got rotation heading mid. Hero 1000 and Oswald kind of looking to wrap around. They go for the backs, but they're realizing everything's kind of down. Just a little excursion, just to head right back to bot lane. Now Cash is kind of diving into the back here, looking to go for that weapon treant, but I think this time they're going to be punished for this one.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be a bit ready, but Cassius, it's a 3-on-1. Really nowhere for Cassius to go off of the back end of that. So, again, nice job by the Czech Republic capitalizing on the opportunity, and now they're going to be just clearing out the rest of their jungle.
Yeah. Did we even talk about the fact that it's Oswald Jungle Lyra?
I wasn't going to. I'm not quite, because it's not really, it's not being played as like a typical jungler. A lot of this gold is getting given over to the other carries. It's really just kind of, I feel like it's still going to be a very utility-focused build that Oswald ends up going. But for now, obviously, that Lyra's just kind of roaming the jungle, but roaming it with teammates almost constantly, which kind of, again, makes it so it's not really the traditional jungle. It's really Hero 1000 and Oswald moving as a unit through the jungle and clearing out lanes and jungle together.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like it. I really do like seeing different strategies. So we're seeing a 1-2-2 sort of lineup here, really looking to help secure farm for these carries that really just they need the items, and once they get it, they can just start to just roll over team fights.
Well, we'll see if those team fights when those team fights are gonna start happening. As it's been a pretty cautious game for the most part, although we could be getting a bit of a skirmish here. Oswald and Hero 1000 going to get jumped on, but not a lot of damage being done. They decide to switch gears. Hero 1000, they realize, you know what, you're a lot squishier, and they take him down. So another kill going the way of the Czech Republic.
Yeah, no, it's the same sort of thing as like looking at last game. Hero 1000 was squishy as can be, and like I think that kind of just clicked. Like, oh yeah, we should just kill the carry. And so if they continue that sort of mindset and just focus these squishier heroes, it's going to be so much easier in these team fights. Like I know it's like no duh, but really it's just going to be coming down to like not falling for like the frontliner bait.
Alright, well, speaking of bait, this Treant's going to go down low. That's going to be Cassius getting a nice stun down onto the members of Czech Republic. And France, all of a sudden, finding themselves a lot of damage. They don't quite take down the Alpha, but she's going to get back up. And that's going to be now the team fight possibly getting turned. Morgan Free Farm will eat up a target. Burst of Judgment comes down, will find one kill. And it's a Chernwalker that falls first. A second kill for the side of Czech Republic. And what looked like it was going to be a great opportunity for France turns right back around on them.
Yeah, no, that was really well done. It's again like kind of like drawing out these team fights, going for like the proper targets. I think getting that that ultimate onto the kinetic there was probably the biggest part of that. Taking her out of the fight so she's not able to just burst down your already low heroes. Really well done by Morgan Free Farm there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Again, Czech Republic starting to find some really good advantages. They take a turret down, the first turret of the game, going their way at 7 minutes in. And Czech Republic, like I said, getting themselves a nice little lead here. You see the gold, about 2,000 in their favor. Obviously, you'd like to have a little bit more of a lead at this stage of the game, but to be 5-0 up and knowing that you've just gotten first turret, you've had control of a lot of the jungle, side Czech Republic's got to be feeling pretty good about this one.
Yeah, I think they know they've got the momentum. I'm not sure if they kind of have like a grasp of like how little ahead that they are in terms of like gold. But if they can just continue to play smart, so close.
Morgan Free Farm tried to get over the wall, fails to do so, and will end up paying for it. That's rough to see.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just like just on the very edge of that. Just no.
Well, Ghostwing gonna get started up in response to finding that kill, but that's gonna be a big fight happening as well. You see Warren 1X gonna be dropping really low, can't get the ultimate off as he is gonna go down, and so this should be a Ghostwing going freely over to the side of France now as they've found themselves a couple of kills, get themselves the Ghostwing capture, and now they need to capitalize on this though, because look up in the top lane, D3JV, he is just pushing up onto this turret.
He's doing okay on farm too. He's already got his Spellfire. Just getting taking advantage of all this space. We saw him doing the same sort of style last game on the Idris, but I'm really liking Razer here for this more than I do like the weapon power Idris.
For sure, and we'll see now as things move towards the mid lane. Everyone on the Czech Republic, they want to get this turret down. They should be able to get this. And then everyone from the side of France will be collapsing after it goes down. But it's not everyone from France, actually, as they have a couple members pushing down this bottom lane, looking to trade turrets here. And so they will be able to do so. So, again, good shot calling from the side of France, saying, okay, we know that they're going to get that mid turret. Let's get something else across the map for our trouble so that we don't just flat out lose out from this situation.
Yeah. Taking the tier 2 for a tier 1, not the best trade on paper, but being able to take away a mid turret is always something that's worthwhile. It gives you a little bit more control when it comes to hunting down that blue buff, for example, or excuse me, that's Celeste. Gone in an instant.
Warren getting taken out very quickly there by KOTP. And again, another game that it's going to be looking like it's going to be very back and forth. Czech Republic had a nice sizable lead, but France has come storming on back. As, oh, actually another kill goes down there. It was Morgan Freefarm getting caught out a bit down in the river. So France really storming on back into this game. All of a sudden the gold deficit has swung into their favor despite being down by a couple thousand gold just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, proper vision there really set that up for them. It's also the fact that we have Oswald and Hero 1000, just duo buddy system, really allowing to just kind of like take down anyone that they're going to run into.
Yeah, it's you mentioned that it was a jungle Lyra before, but it's really just more of a personal captain. Like Lyra has just been there just following Hero 1000. Now Warren, he's going to get chased out of the jungle alongside Look Forward. And France just starting to put the pressure on, starting to be more aggressive in these little, these mid-jungle situations when there aren't really any objectives up for the teams to focus on. They're starting to put a little bit more pressure onto the side of the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I really liked what Oswald was doing there too, using the ultimate just to get the kinetic just a little bit closer to the blue buff to be able to engage in that team fight instead of looking for one of these like huge gates just to allow people to just run through. And it was just a really smart play. Personal captain at its finest.
And once again, Oswald, he's placed distraction there. He had a lot of members trying to focus him down, but meanwhile, the rest of the team, they're up in the top lane taking another turret for their troubles. So again, the decision-making by France is just a little bit snappier, a little bit quicker than the Czech Republic, and they're getting advantages for it. Although Czech Republic, very quick decision made here to come down to the Ghost Wing, but they realize, oh wait, the entirety of France is now chasing after us. We have to back off this. We cannot commit. And France going very aggressive here, looking to try and start up a fight. But now that they've forced recalls, they could be the ones going for Ghost Wing.
Yeah, one of the real issues there that you're not going to see is Celeste actually had 0 mana. So the chance, she was basically ineffective at all in a potential team fight. So really good on France here to continue forcing the objectives, maintaining that high, that fast momentum as well. Just this is playing really well for them.
Yeah, able to find that Ghost Wing, and now what can they do with it? You see 4 members of France going towards the bottom side. KOTP using the shadows to get himself out of a sticky situation, and just like that, now it looks like France, they are going to go full aggressive onto this bottom side of the map. They're waiting for their minion wave, and they could very easily take down this armory turret. You see it's just absolutely melting underneath this pressure. And Czech Republic, they need to get here and defend quickly. Not going to be quickly enough to save the turret, but they can at least prevent the armory from going down. Millennium Academy, he's going to be playing aggressively, but that's a lot of damage being dished out onto Marnisar as well. Does have infinite reboot, does have the ultimate, but chooses not to use it. And instead it's going to be France backing away. They did lose Millennium Academy, and so as soon as they lost out on that captain, the rest of the team starting to back off. But Czech Republic, they want to continue chasing. They want to find another member or two of France to take down. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do so just yet.
Yeah, it looks like they really just overstayed their welcome in the top lane after that tower went down. Trading Millennium there.
Oh, Marnisar just gets dropped into the reboot. Will be able to get back up eventually, but it's going to be... Actually, no, he got taken down. And now Look Forward is in trouble. Fountain's going to come out, and all of a sudden France finding themselves some good kills. They get 2 of the members of Czech Republic down. Meanwhile, Czech Republic does take out Hero 1000 to at least get something out of this, but Look Forward, he's going to get caught and dropped, and France, again, just getting these small advantages from these fights. Now they're going to turn their attention to the Black Claw.
Yeah, again, they're just doing so well about drawing out these team fights. You saw, even though they had lost Millennium Academy, they were still posturing for a team fight towards the side of Czech Republic's Crystal Treant. And they're just always looking to just see what they can take here in a team fight. And even though they lost lost more team members here, they're just realizing, okay, we can still take these fights. They're so spread out. We can still look to chase down and then take an objective.
So Black Claw has been unleashed for the side of France. They still haven't taken any of the towers down in the mid lane, so it's going to be a long push for this Black Claw, but it will at least get a couple of these turrets down. You got to figure minimum 2. but possibly even more if they can find a fight. That's a big trespass, landing a few stuns. The Bright Bulwark's going to go down to stop a lot of these dashes, but can they find the damage now? Look Forward is going to be going low, gets the burst off, however, and that's going to stop a lot of this aggression, but Marnisar goes in and just gets dropped. Absolutely deleted on this Alpha, has not been able to have the impact that you want. And that's going to be 2 turrets now for the side of France off this push. Warren getting pushed down pretty low as well, but here comes D3JV looking for some kills on this Razer. Can't find anything. Meanwhile, KOTP has gone to this bottom lane to work on the armory, and this could be a massive push for France now. As they get an armory, they could potentially get another turret if they want to go aggressive, but it looks like they're going to decide to play a little bit. Never mind, that's an aggressive play from Cassius. Going on in, finding another kill. 3 turrets and an armory, and they aren't quite done yet. They want the second armory as well. France blowing this game wide open. Are they going to go for the finish? It looks like they want it here.
They're so low, and they're just still pushing for this team fight. Like, the fact that Hero 1000 has been safely sitting in this backline, had their Slumbering Husk pop by the Adagio ultimate, like, oh so long ago, but they haven't even been targeted. They're just, like, Czech Republic's just continuously falling for the front line every single time, and that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, they find a couple more kills, and now France can finish this one off 2-0. Dominant fashion here for the side of France in the game 2. Again, the early to mid game was very, very close. Czech Republic had a sizable lead, but were unable to hold on to it and do end up falling as France comes storming back in this one. Look at the amount of defensive items on the side of France. They had only 2 damage dealers in this game. That's why it took them so long to get ramped up, but once they did, it was just GG.
It's 3 captains, man.
3 full-on captains.
They all have like very similar builds. Like looking at Grace and Lyra, it's basically the same dang thing, except Crucible versus Aegis, and Stoneguard Baron. It's not being built up into the Storm Crown yet. Like this is just hilarious to me. I mean, honestly, I like it, and if they can make this kind of strategy work against later opponents, I mean, we could see the new meta, man. Just 3 captains.
We very well could. This was impressive stuff coming out of France, and they will be moving on. And well, I mean, High Jump, what's the big takeaway for you from this matchup? What's the biggest thing that you would want to see from France going forward, or see teams do against France going forward?
Honestly, I think one like the big takeaway is definitely got to be, how like making the right calls and making them fast. They really kept up their momentum so well in that game that it was really hard to kind of find space. So I think looking to kind of I think if you're going to find like a weak point, it could potentially be. I think it was when Cassius just kind of sitting top lane. If you can punish the solo player a bit more instead of looking to go after these these 2. Like the carry and support lane, be it mid or bot, it's definitely going to be. Excuse me. It's definitely going to be a little bit harder to really break that down, because I think they're picking heroes that can make use of farm, that don't need levels, that just need these really strong items, be it Spell Sword, Spell Sword or Breaking Point. For, an example, the Kinetic. Honestly, and then also for teams to play against them, you have to dive that back line. Yeah. Hero 1000, even with Slumbering Husk, was squishy as can be. And while it's hard to dive past 3 captains, it could potentially be something if you're playing Reza to look to flank a little bit better and not necessarily be with your team, but be wrapping around to just pick off these squishy heroes. Because they did that. They did that in the mid team, the team fight mid. We saw D3JV pick off KOTP really quickly. It was a really solid pickoff, but the rest of the team fight had been lost by that point. So it was a little bit more of a reconciliation kill, instead of an actual team fight winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, when you have this sort of late game composition, and with just 2 core carries, your teams going forward, I think, are going to really have to look to try and win games early. And also, just like you said, dive that backline. Because if you take out one of those carries, all of a sudden the damage output from the side of France, if they continue to build these compositions, becomes next to nothing. So, it's something that we used to see in 3v3 where you would say, okay, we're going to itemize for one hero, delete the other hero, and then we don't have to worry about their damage. So, like, if in that situation, if they just build a whole bunch of shielding, focus on diving the kinetic, all of a sudden all that's left is the crystal power damage coming out, and you have the shielding for that. So it becomes much easier to win team fights. So that's something that I think France needs to be wary of, but other teams also need to make sure that they pick up on and start to focus on as well. But as we take a look at the brackets as we currently stand, you can see on the side of Group B there was a victory, as it was the members of Romania taking Ireland 2-0. Over on this Group A where we've been focusing, you see Russia getting the victory and France as well picking up their win and moving on to the semifinals. I don't know, it's not putting France in there even though it should be. I'll try and get that sorted out for everyone in a moment, but for now, it is France and Russia that will be matching up against each other next week. But coming up on our next matchup, you do not want to go anywhere, as it is going to be Team Germany taking to the Rise. This is the star-studded team, the odds-on favorites to take the whole thing. When you look at who is on their roster, it's going to be incredible. We will be back in just a few minutes. Do not go anywhere.
way too deep and I'm drowning in devotion. I'm lost, can't find a new emotion that's ever enough. And I can't deny it's real, 'cause there's no deeper
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let's fix that real quick. There we go. Welcome back to the desk for WESG European Qualifiers, presented by Razer Phone. I'm Tasty Bacon. Alongside me is High Jump. We do unfortunately have some bad news for you guys. It's not that we're going to have a forfeit, thankfully. It's not that bad. But we are going to have a bit of a delay before our next game gets underway. So we're going to go ahead and turn the stream off. We'll be back when the teams are ready. We expect it to be approximately an hour or so, and then we will be coming back online for Slovakia versus Germany. High Jump, what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
Honestly, I'm wanting to see how well Team Sly and Team Queso can mesh together for Germany.
It is a all-star lineup. We can actually go ahead and take a look at the rosters real quick before we go off the air for now. And you can see the German roster: Hundor, Tyrus, Techno JJ, Krisior, Sneaky, the Joker, Keanu Nakoa, and Krax. Every single one of those players with top-level VPL, Evil 8, VG8 experience. It is going to be incredible and a very tall mountain for Slovakia to climb.
Yeah. Slovakia, I'm wondering who their 5 players are going to be for this match. Going through the full team lineup yesterday during research. It's going to be a tall mountain, and it's one of those things I don't really have a way for them to kind of to be able to okay, here's the strategy they got to go with. Here's how they can crack Team Germany. It's one thing the fact that if this was an established meta, if this was on still 3.6, we kind of had more of an idea okay, this is what these teams do. This is probably how it's mostly Team Queso. Here's how they'll probably mesh in a couple players. We can figure out what their strategies are. It's gonna be a rough one.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, again, Germany is the favorite here for a reason, but if Slovakia can pull off the upset, it would be massive. So make sure you tune in about an hour's time so you can get your first look at Team Germany on the rise in the WESG European Qualifiers, and we will see you then.
Take it easy.